What is happening? So let's talk about UFC 306, the Sphere. So plenty to talk about. We will talk about the top three fights. So they're going to be insane fights. We're looking forward to all of them. I'm looking forward to the whole card, but we will talk about the top three. And I want to talk about the Sphere. And we might start off with that. Like, what do we think is going to happen there? Do we think, we know it's going to be a spectacular sort of event, you know, where Dana's talked about it, the money that's gone into it. And the Sphere itself, you've seen some videos of what it's like inside and outside. It's pretty incredible. There's really nothing like it. So, but then it makes me think, how are they going to have people fighting while, you know, the big screen behind? You can't really have guys fighting in a cage and then literally eye level with them, crazy stuff happening on a big screen. Could you imagine fighting while all this stuff is happening? You've got a big screen right behind you and that's all you can see. So I don't know how that's going to be. I don't know if they're going to sort of maybe black out the bottom, just maybe, you know, eye level from where the fighters are, and then maybe above them have a whole screen. You could imagine the screen, you know, you get the screens, the TV, so people can watch it when they're watching the fights, they can look at the screens. You could imagine the size of the screen that they're going to have there. Will they do the whole thing? Like I said, I think that'll be too much. Will they have different angles so you can watch? Like, you know how you go into a camera room and they've got, like, you know, all these different camera angles. Will it be sort of like that, or is that too much? I don't know. It's a tricky one. They say it's going to be quite extraordinary, spectacular sort of event with the money that's involved. They're getting like directors, movie directors involved. So I just don't know. I think it's going to be more than that. It's just they need to obviously think of the fighters. You know, the fighters as in, imagine fighting with crazy stuff happening. You know, it's crazy enough because usually when you're in the octagon, you probably can see from the TV, but it's sort of dark around. You don't, like, you will see the crowd. Obviously, you will see the crowd, but it's, you know, it's not bright. You don't have lights shining right on them while you fight. The bright light is sort of in the octagon, and it's sort of pretty dark on the outside. You'll see people sort of close to you, but, you know, it's not eye-catching. Imagine a massive screen of, like, you know, and if you had the whole thing as a screen, you're sitting there trying to fight, and then while they're moving, you could see, you know, you're literally fighting here, and then you could see your massive feet just going boom, 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 doing all this crazy stuff here because the whole screen is right behind you. So that's going to be a little bit... I'm interested to see what it's going to be like. I think in between fights, it's going to be some, you know, incredible sort of ramp-ups to the fights and, like, you know, hype videos. You're going to have all that. Everything that they do, whether they're talking about the next event, you know, whether, what's the next event after that? I think it's going to be John Jones. They're probably going to announce that and make that a spectacular sort of video and hype video. So I think they're going to go all out and stuff like that. But I'm interested to see what it's going to be like while they're fighting. I just feel like they can't do too much. But from what I've seen in the Sphere, like, you know, when they do have the hype up videos, it's going to be some of the best hype videos you've ever seen. It's interesting. I don't know. I think I wish I was there. I didn't really tee up tickets to get there. I think that would have been great to be over there to watch that. Great fights as well. But anyway, I don't know. Let me know what you think. I think you can't have the whole Sphere your replay, right, or your live sort of. I just don't think you could do that. Let me know if you disagree. You think if that's exactly what they're going to do, or let me know your thoughts. Let's move on to the fights. Let's start off with Brian Ortega and Lopes. I talked about this. They were meant to fight on, I don't know if it was the last card. I don't think it was the last card. Ortega got injured or something like that. And I talked about how good of a fight that was, how interested I was to see how that's going to go down. I think I had Ortega winning that fight. So let's talk about who's the favourite. I wonder if it's the same as us. Lopes is a favourite. I think he was a favourite last time too. And how much of a favourite is he? $1.57? $2.41 for Ortega. I mean, Lopes is great. Very, very good jiu-jitsu guy. So's Ortega. Very aggressive striker. Ortega's got a great chin. I'm surprised that Ortega's such an underdog. So I'm gonna call my pick straight away and say Ortega. Being such an underdog, $2.41 is pretty good odds on Ortega for this fight. Again, Lopes is very good, but yeah, I'm surprised stylistically. I'm surprised how much of an underdog Ortega is. So let's get into why I think that. Great jiu-jitsu, both of them. They're both, well, Ortega, we all know Ortega is known for his jiu-jitsu, incredible jiu-jitsu. Lopes is a really good jiu-jitsu artist. He's actually coaches Alexa Grasso, Yair Rodriguez. He's actually a coach, a jiu-jitsu coach for very high-level UFC fighters, champions at that. So it just shows you his caliber of jiu-jitsu. We've seen it, obviously we've seen it in the octagon, but yeah, I don't think it does justice just how good it is. But we did see with Mosvar was still able to control him a bit, even though he had Mosvar in a lot of dangerous positions. Mosvar was still able to control here and there, and then got the decision. That was a very, very close fight, but he was able to get the decision win. I just feel Ortega's going to be okay on the ground. I don't think Lopes is going to have something that Lopes hasn't seen before. Both very jiu-jitsu heavy, very aggressive sort of jiu-jitsu style, submission heavy. Both, it's each other's game. I don't think it's going to be something Ortega hasn't seen. So I'm quite surprised that he's the underdog. Now let's talk about the striking. Lopes, very, very aggressive. Very aggressive. He's comes forward, he can leave himself open. The way he comes forward, he likes to, grab a hold of your uppercuts. He's big, loves getting on the inside and from big shots. That's why there's a lot of hype around him, because he's finishing fights, and that's why the UFC love him. But at the highest level, you've got to be careful of that. You know what I mean? Again, he's got jiu-jitsu, he doesn't have to worry about getting taken down. Maybe with Ortega, he's still got to be careful. He's still got to be wary that Ortega could still submit him. Ortega is that good. But I think his style, his striking style is very dangerous. But for someone like Ortega with a wicked chin that he has, Lopes is going to find it pretty hard to just put his lights out, because many people have tried with Ortega. Ortega's chin is it's like a Max Holloway chin. It's honestly pretty crazy how good his chin is. So I can't see him getting put lights out. He's obviously can handle a bit of adversity. So I think he's going to be okay. The wrestling side of things, I think he might be okay. I think he might even have a little bit more of an edge over Lopes, maybe. I think he can maybe throw a takedown here and there, a bit more aggressive with the wrestling. Lopes will be happy to jump for a submission on his way down, and I think that's going to be fine for Ortega. So I'm leaning towards Ortega. I think this fight, if the odds were closer, or if Ortega was a favourite, all right, now we're talking, right? I'm trying to give you the best odds here, and what I think of value, right? I'm trying to give you the value. So I'm going to have to go with Ortega. You can see I'm excited for this fight. I think this is going to have fight of the night all over it. Fight of the night. I think it's going to be an absolute banger. I think it's going to have a bit of everything in it, but I think Ortega is going to get the victory. Is it a decision? I mean, like I told you, Lopes comes in aggressive. I've seen Ortega, he's a pretty game plan heavy as well sometimes. Like you've seen him with Yair Rodriguez, especially the first fight. It was pure, I'm not messing around on the feet and I'm coming in. And I'm going to come in aggressively. He took a lot of shots, but he was pressure and grab a hold of him. It ended up working in his... Oh no, that's when it worked for him, got the takedown, but he ended up dislocating his shoulder. But so you can see that he's happy to do things like that. But I've seen him, Zombie's a perfect example, fight on the outside and great jab, great distance management, footwork, shot selections. I've seen incredible game planning and strategy from Ortega as well. And I think we might see that here. I think he might have a good team that's going to sort of capitalise on Lopes the way, or Lopes is going to come aggressive, try and keep him on the outside. And if Lopes really wants to come in, we know that Ortega's got some good power behind his punch as well, so he can catch him. Is it going to be a submission? I think they're both just that good where they'll survive a lot of the submissions. I think we're going to see lots of crazy scrambles. I'm going to go with a decision win. The fact that Ortega is such an underdog, let's just go with the value of a decision win. But it can be a finish. It can be a finish either way. So I'm going to stick to the guns here and go with the underdog. I love an underdog. And I think this is a great underdog pick for Brian Ortega. So there was a fair bit of reasoning behind my choice there. So I hope you enjoy that. And hey, gamble responsibly. Next fight, co-main event. Alexa Grasso, Valentina Shevchenko. Their third fight. Who's the favourite? Well, what's the odds? Grasso's the favourite. Shevchenko, $2. Not too crazy of an underdog. I think it's reasonably even. Alexa Grasso, a bit of a favourite, which is fair. She's obviously won the two fights. The last one was very close, but you can see why. Yeah, it's fair to say, that she is the favourite. Alexa Grasso is a gamer, great grappling. Shevchenko is an animal. Like she's great. She's a beast, and I think, it's a tricky one. because I thought this last time, and it was going well for Shevchenko. And again, I thought she won, but it was a close fight, so you never can call robbery. But I thought she did enough. Yeah, how do I see this one going? I'm going to pick Shevchenko. I think Shevchenko's still got the tools, and she's very physical. She's she's strong. She's strong. Her Muay Thai, her clinch, her sweeps. Her striking's obviously money as well. I think she's going to know that Alexa's going to bring it. Obviously, she knows that. She knows that from the first one, and even the second one, when things were sort of going your way, Alexa Grasso was still able to swing things her way as well. So Valentina's going to know she's going to have to be on her game for five rounds. And I'm going to have to go with Shevchenko. She's the underdog as well. It was that close the last one. Alexa Grasso is great, both incredible human beings as well. I know Shevchenko pretty well. She's an awesome human being. And Alexa Grasso as well. She seems like a really, really nice, respectful lady as well. So they're both incredible human beings, but absolute savages in the octagon. Who's going to win? I'm going to go with Shevchenko. How am I going to say she wins? I think it's going to be a decision win. I think it's going to have to be a decision win. If Shevchenko wins, I'm quite sure it's going to be a decision. I think Alexa Grasso will be tough enough to, even if she does get hurt, when it goes to the ground, be able to survive on the ground. If there was a finish, I'd probably say Alexa Grasso might have a better chance of that with submissions, because obviously she did it in the first one. But I think she's going to find that hard. Again, you can imagine the training that Shevchenko is going to be doing, the jiu-jitsu stuff. And like I said, she is very strong, and her body awareness, and mechanically she's very sound. So she'll be doing a lot more work on that. Whether she's, has she been training so much? I don't know. But if she has, I'm sure she has, because she never stops usually. There's going to be a lot of these sort of takedown defense, submission defense. So she's going to be getting a good feel for all that. So I think she's going to be fine anyway. But if there was going to be a finish, I'd say Alexa Grasso might get it. But quite confident Valentina's going to get the decision win. So I've got two underdogs here, and pretty confident in those as well. Not much of an underdog with Shevchenko. Let's go to the main event. Merab and Sean O'Malley. Very interesting fight. Striker versus wrestler, grappler. Sean O'Malley's got great grappler. We've seen that. We've seen him even do, Quintet, I think he did. He was on there. He even submitted someone quite good. So he's got a good ground game. He's pretty good off his back. I don't think that's the way to go for someone like Merab. You might get him in submissions. Merab's tough. He's durable. You're going to have to kill him. Even we've seen him in deep submissions. You've seen the footage where I swear he was out. He was out, but his legs were still going, and then somehow survived. It was pretty crazy. So he's very durable. He's got that resilience. It's going to be hard to just put him away that way. I don't think Sean O'Malley could get the submission, but he can definitely get the knockout, because Sean O'Malley's striking is elite. And I've said this many times, I think people are starting to understand how good it was. I've said it from the start, where a lot of people thought he was all hype, but no, his striking is that good. He's got incredible striking. Who's the favourite? Almost even, fair. You know what I mean? A lot of people, obviously, Sean O'Malley is a champion, but Merab is a proven fighter, that tough, the wrestling sort of cardio machine that's just always going to be there. Is he going to be open to being hit? Yes, I believe so. I think, Sean O'Malley's eye is incredible. His movement's going to make it a little bit hard, but his relentless takedown pressure, or his pressure and takedowns, I think he's going to eventually get it, unless he gets knocked out, right? I don't care how good your footwork is. You're not going to keep Merab away from you unless you put his lights out. That's the only way that you don't get taken down, I think. Merab's going to eventually get the takedown. I don't care how good Sean O'Malley's footwork is. The clinch is going to be there, because he's quite a brute and that pressure's quite full on. But it can leave openings, especially with someone who's got such an eye like Sean O'Malley. Man, they're both even. 5 rounds.
O'Malley's in front by a couple of cents.
Couple of cents. So it's like a slight favourite. So let's just say they're even. It's always hard for me to bet against the guys like your Merab. So I believe, like myself, or there's quite a few fighters that are just never die at it, never give up, never die, and they're just constantly there and just grinding, and it's just too much for people. Someone like Merab, I feel like the only way I see him losing is getting knocked out. That's how I've always seen myself. It's like, I've always been quite confident, but I don't believe anyone's going to go out there and out-grind me, outwork me, or be so much better of a fighter than me. I've never believed that. I always thought, if someone's beating me, they're catching me. That's the only way they can beat me, and I still believe that right now. That's the only way people will beat me. And that's, some people might say that's delusion or whatever, but that's just what I believe, and that's if you want to be elite, you need to believe that stuff. But I've proven that many times as well. So guys like Merab are hard to bet against. Sean O'Malley's eye is so good though, but I think I'm gonna have to go with Merab. I like both dudes. Both are cool dudes. I like Sean. I've always loved his style. Like I said, he's still so dangerous. I can definitely see him getting the finish. 5 rounds to do so. I think if it gets later rounds, them takedowns are just going to get more and more and more and more. But I'm gonna have to go with Merab on this one. Which is tough for me to say. Again, I'm a big fan, massive fan of Sean O'Malley. I think he's a great fighter, and I think it should be the way it's even like this. It should be. You could see that I'm like, whoo. I'm only going with Merab because I'm always gonna, statistically or percentage-wise, I'm always gonna, a lot of times go that way. 5 rounds, I think he's doable. Even if he gets hurt, I can see him still surviving crazy damage, and but it's a tricky one for me. Am I gonna pull the trigger on it? Does that mean it's gonna be all free because he's slight underdog? That means I'm going 3 underdogs here. This is obviously one that I'm not sure, because I can see Sean having a highlight reel knockout at the Sphere, because he's already a mega star. He could go to a whole nother level at the Sphere with a highlight reel knockout over Merab, which could definitely happen. But I'm just gonna have to go with that resilience, cardio, never die attitude, that little pitbull that just doesn't give up, just always in your face. And Sean's gonna be like, just piss off, even though he's gonna look good at the start, and his footwork's gonna be great. Merab's going to eventually get there. Again, you have to put his lights out for that not to happen. And it can happen. I'm just going around in circles here, aren't I? Merab, decision. I don't think he'll submit. I think I'm going to let's just go Merab winning. Decision might be better odds there. Could he get the finish? Yeah. Could Sean O'Malley get, your value? What's your best value? Could there be a submission from Ortega from Merab? It can be, like grinding. He's going to grind right to the end. If it goes to later rounds, he's going to get the takedowns. Can he do enough damage for the ref to just stop it? That could be something if you want to look at the value and go that extra step. Gamble responsibly, remember that. But if you want to throw a couple of extra dollars on that and see how you go, I shouldn't be telling you to bet like that, should I? But anyway, I'm going to say Merab decision. That's what I believe. But let's just go with Merab. Yeah, incredible card. It's going to be an incredible event. The atmosphere, the production that the UFC always do is incredible. You can only imagine what it's going to be like at the Sphere. I cannot wait for it because, again, it's going to be something that we've probably never seen before. All the hype videos. I'm keen to see what happens in between the fights. I think they're going to go all out there. That's where I think a lot of the magic's going to happen. I think it's very hard for them hard to make the magic happen while the fights are going on. Let's see if they prove me wrong, and they probably will. They're very clever, they're good at what they do. But anyway, it's gonna be good. Hope you go good with your picks if you gamble responsibly, and hope you enjoy the show. Till next time, appreciate you. Let's go.